Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lucky. Hello to all my lovely subscribers, sending you loads of spectacular positivity your way. Thank you to the new subscribers who's come to the channel. I've had some lovely comments, I really do appreciate it. I'll get into this in a minute. On to today's video. So this is my first Q&A. I have your questions here written down. Excited. Thank you for the questions. What I did was I took a screenshot and then I wrote them down in the book. So I'm going to read them out in order of how they were commented on the channel. Mr. James has just joined us. And should we just get straight onto it? My first Q&A. So first up we have a question from Century Countess 4949. They asked, what is the biggest dream wish you wish to achieve before the end of the year or far future? For me, it's just going to be having more positivity in my life, having better mental health, having just been more positive. And that's probably like a long life goal. That's something that I need to work on. So that's my wish, dream, just to be more positive in the future. I hope that answers your question, Century Countess, and thank you for the question. The next question is from Gothnetic Official. What was the first goth band that you loved? I'm going to have to be open and honest here. I don't know a lot of goth bands. My journey to discovering goth bands is an ongoing journey. The only ones I can remember off the top of my head, this is a test for me now, is the really popular ones like The Cure, Susie and the Banshees. And off the top of my head, I think that's all I can say. And I was actually scared to answer this question because of that, because there is a lot of, to be goth, you have to love the music. I do love the music. My favourite type is dark wave, and to me, it can be like any dark wave song. I just feel the music, if that makes sense. I can feel it in my body. So I hope that answers your question, Gothnetic. I hope it's, I know it's not probably the answer you were looking for. Next we have Sanez, who's a Swedish elder goth from Sweden. They ask, how long have you been goth and what is the difficulties you had through the years? What's the best with the goth scene? To me, the best with the goth scene, black. My favourite colour. Not only the black, but how do I say this? How you can express yourself in a way that you want to. Because to me, goth is a big umbrella. It's not just black and white, shall we say, even though it's a lot of colours. It's mostly the two colours that I use, as I think it's called trad goth, or what I call basic goth. How long have I been goth? I have been goth. I kind of grew my way into goth. When I was a teenager, I used to be, emo was very big here in Britain. And I like emo. I know a lot of people don't. I used to listen to a lot of like Fall Out Boy, what I suppose people classed as emo music, but to me it was just good music. Back to the question. So yes, I knew about goth. I didn't know a lot about goth at all. My first experience with goth was seeing it, the clothes, the makeup, seeing, and when I looked at someone who presented themselves as goth, I was always drawn to it. There was just something about it that was in my soul that was just, I like it. That's me. That's seeing someone present themselves in a gothic way made me feel, okay, I'm not weird. I can fit into this group of friends, would you say? Or I can fit in. I'm not weird inside. It's okay to be that, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I'm rambling on here. Um, Always liking the dark and spooky stuff, even when I was a teenager, like always been into Halloween. So I have been goth, and I'm going to include the emo-ish years because that's how I got into it. At sometimes I was wearing goth and emo stuff together, like maybe an emo studded belt with, for example, like the black nail varnish, black lipstick. Um, so I'm going to say, so I kind of mixed it up at the start, really. So I'm going to say, I'm 33 now. I'm going to say 15, 16 was when I first started getting more interested in goth. Before that, it was all emo stuff. I can't believe I'm saying this. About 17, 18 years, I've been into the whole goth and loving it. Next part of Sanalis's question: what is the difficulties you've had through the years? The difficulties I've had being goth through the years, people not understanding that we are normal, that we're human just like you, we're not sitting at home with our altar to the devil, worshipping them. Um, I'm just speaking from my experiences. Um, yeah, so that would probably be the biggest one for me, that people that don't understand, even they're ignorant to understand. One incident that stuck with me when as you know, if you were following me on my other channel before I lost my passwords, um, I did a few Drayton Manor vlogs, and I remember sitting. This was before they took Apocalypse out, and I was sitting on a bench near there, um, and there was I presume there was a young family, man, woman, and a child going into Apocalypse, and the gentleman said, "Look at that," and like started laughing, pointing. And the last part of Saniz's question: what's the best with the goth scene? The best with the goth scene? Am I going to get shot here for saying, well, not with my lack of knowledge of goth music? Um, yes, the music is part of it, but the best part of the scene is probably, this is probably something personal to me, is feeling accepted in a community that knows I'm not weird just because my soul, the way I was born, likes going, having a real interest in Victorian graves, graveyard. It's okay to love the spooky. It's okay to love bats. It's okay to love Victorian graveyards, as I'm a big lover of Victorian graveyards. The Victorians, they knew how to do a graveyard. Next, we have Star Raven's Gothic Eternity, and they ask, what's your favourite horror movie? And my favourite horror movie is, some people might not consider it a horror movie, the Dracula 1931 version. Amazing. There's just one, they're like the start of horror movies. Um, and we don't really film movies like that anymore. I suppose time's moved on, and just the whole classic vintage feeling of it. Would you say it's just an ultimate classic for me? Last but not least, we have a question from Dizzy 1692. Dizzy D 1692. I do apologise. How did your family feel when you came out as goth? So, as I spoke before in about, it was emo, goth, and that's how I kind of got into it. Emo first, mixing it, and then exploring goth and emo kind of together, really. And I remember first when I was very, very young, say this would have been late childhood, even early teenage years, say 12, something like that, where I'd first start experimenting with thinking of my family now, um, just like little black bands, um, black nail varnish, just very, very basic with what my mum at the time had dressed me in. So, for example, maybe I might have had like a, I don't know, a blue top on, or and then I'd have like a band on and the black nail varnish, and um, experimenting with things like that. And then as it progressed and it got into like the skinny jeans and the belts and more accessories, accessories. There's a lot of accessories in them emo days. I actually remember a instance where I was at a family member's house. Let's say they were a family member, um, and as soon as this question came up, this came into my head. Um, we this family member was getting help with their computer. Something was gone wrong, um, and I remember this person had come round to the family house, this computer expert or something, to fix whatever was going on with the computer. I can't remember. This was back when computers, you put the keyboard and the mouse and everything separately together. Um, and this person said, "You're into alternative goth." I remember it. I remember it. Before I even had the chance to answer, a family member said, "No, they're not. No, they're not." Straight away, before I'd even chance to open my mouth. So I never opened my mouth. So that'll give you an example of some family members. Another example, the same family member. I went to Oasis and I got a Jack Skellington Nightmare for Christmas bag. Literally a bag that was a Nightmare for Christmas bag. I'm sure I've got it hanging. Bear with me. So this is a bag. It's obviously Jack Skellington. Basically, it's Jack Skellington, and there's a zip at the back, and it is a bag. He did have pins with some eyes. They have gone. I took them out for a reason, but I can't remember why I took them out. So yeah, this is the bag I was on about, and I brought it to this one person's house one day, family member's house, and I had comments. You don't take that down town, do you? That's embarrassing. It was just talking about it now. It's brought a bit of what do you say, anxiety back. I've always had one supportive family member. That's been my mum. No matter what I've done, never had any kind of negativity um, when it comes to like expressing myself, things like that. Thank you ever so much for your questions, sending you spectacular vibes your way. Thank you for all your super supportive subscribers, sending lots of spectacular vibes. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. My name is Lucky. I post videos that alternative, gothic, a lot of makeup videos probably. I love Halloween, um, and I love animals. So yeah, I haven't done an animal video for a while. Hopefully soon. And thanks for watching. Stay spooky. Bye.